Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and welcome to our video of explanation of transfer pricing study, a case study on Unilever and Danone for our project-based learning on international accounting subject. So, our agenda in this explanation will be explaining the transfer pricing theory, the multinational company, the profile of Unilever and Danone, the study of the Unilever and Danone, and the comparative analysis of both company, and the conclusion of this presentation. For the presentation of transfer pricing will be explained by Cairo.
Okay, so I'll be explaining what transfer pricing is. Transfer pricing is the determination of prices for transactions of goods, service, or intangible assets that occur between divisions or affiliated companies within a multinational enterprises group. Objektif transfer pricingnya ada dua. Yang pertama itu to fairly evaluate the performance and profitability of each division and drive operational efficiency across the company. This helps management make informed strategic decisions. Dan yang kedua, dan reasoning yang lebih common itu yaitu to comply with international tax regulations by applying the arm's length principle. The aim is to ensure profits are reported and taxes are paid in the appropriate country while preventing tax evasion. Quick company profile dari Unilever and Danone. PT Unilever Indonesia is a leading consumer goods company in Indonesia operating since 1933 with businesses divided into home and personal care and foods and refreshment segments. Its portfolio includes 45 well-known brands such as Pepsodent, Dove, Bango, and Royco, serving markets across Indonesia from Sabang to Merauke. And Danone SA is a French multinational food and beverage company operates in Indonesia in the bottled water and specialty nutrition sectors through well-known brands such as Aqua, Mizone, and SGM. The company's operations are aligned with its global vision, One Planet, One Health, which focuses on health and environmental sustainability.
And for the Unilever transfer pricing, for the Unilever side will be explained. And Unilever Indonesia is involved in significant intercompany transactions, spanning sales of goods, service, and use of intellectual property, and therefore the company's transfer pricing policy must ensure the fairness, transparency, and compliance with applicable regulation. And from our research, from the website and the annual report, it states that Unilever aligned with the OECD guidelines, that they serve the OECD guidelines and support the OECD international tax reform, specifically for the base erosion and profit shifting, or BEPS, including the pillars number 1 and the pillars number 2. And for the transfer pricing, they conducted in arm's length principle. And as listed in annual report, all transactions conducted by the company in 2024 were conducted at arm's length and in accordance with normal commercial terms. For the arm's length principle, it is basically memperlakukan affiliate the company or the subsidiary company as if they are the independent company, so they set the same price as other independent company. And for the document and transparency, in 2024 annual report of Unilever, they don't specifically mention the preparation of documents such as master file, local file, or country-by-country report as per BEPS Action 13. And it is transparent in disclosing the existence and type of related party transaction. The document provides an overview of compliance with the Financial Service Authority, or OJK, regulations on related party transactions. The types of intercompany transaction that is included in Unilever is the first is royalties, or the payment for the use of brands and other intellectual property to affiliates. And then the second is sales and purchase of goods, the transactions of sales of finished goods, and purchases of raw materials and finished goods with affiliated companies in various countries. And then the third is machinery lease, the transactions related to rental of machinery from PT Unilever Enterprises Indonesia. Okay, the next will be explained by Bintang.
So the next one is about Danone transfer pricing. So if you guys see in the yellow part of the PowerPoint, there's a cut word from the non-tax policies that stated in relation to cross-border transaction, Danone applies the OECD standard and ensures that the transfer pricing policies implemented with the company respect the arm length principle, which, like Faris said before, it is a part of a mission of Danone Tax Department to define the transfer pricing policies of each businesses to control carefully their correct application within the company. Also, Danone prepares a country by country report following the international guideline. From that point, we can see that Danone transfer pricing method is aligned with the guidelines and BAPS, especially Action 8 to 10 and 13. Then they use the arm length principle, which treat the transfer pricing price between related party must be similar to those between independent parties. There are three transaction type or transfer pricing transaction type in Danone transfer pricing method use. The first one is comparable uncontrolled price or CUP method. The second one is a transactional net margin method or TNMM. The third one is resale price method. So we can conclude that Danone transfer pricing method ensures fairness, compliance, and accurate profit allocation. Next slide, please. So for the document and transparency, in terms of documentation and transparency, Danone complies with BEPS Action 13 by preparing and maintaining local files, master files, and country-by-country report (CBCR) in jurisdiction where required. These documents support tax authorities in evaluating whether the group's profits are aligned with the economic substance of its activities. Danone's policy also includes the real-time monitoring of intercompany pricing, supported by robust internal controls and audits to ensure consistency across jurisdictions and fiscal years. So the company disclosed or engaged in several types of intercompany transaction, including royalties for the use of trademarks and proprietary technology, management fees for centralized service provided by the parent company, intercompany financing, including loans and guarantees, cross-border sale of goods and raw materials. Next slide, please. This is the kelanjutannya. So this is the file, the word from the file of tax Danone policy. For Danone, cross-border transaction consists mainly of royalty payments for the remuneration of the brands owned centrally, management fees for the remuneration of services provided by the French headquarters or locally shared service center, and payment for raw materials and finished products. Those cross-border transactions are documented in each country and fully disclosed to the local authorities whenever required. Finally, on a consolidated basis, Danone supervises the overall amount of corporate taxes paid by the company on a worldwide basis. Danone is fully committed to transparency towards local tax administration. Next one is alignment Danone to transfer pricing with OECD two-pillar approach and to global tax reform. Danone shows the strong alignment with the OECD two-pillar approach to global tax reform. Pillar 1, which focus on reallocating taxing rights to market jurisdiction, is supported by Danone through its readiness to apply standardized distribution margins under Amount B. For Pillar 2, uh, which introduced a 15% global minimum tax rate, Danone is well prepared through its country-by-country reporting and robust tax governance system. This strategic alignment highlights Danone's commitment to responsible tax practices, helping it minimize risk such as double taxation, audits, and reputational damage, while demonstrating the importance of transparency and consistency in multinational transfer pricing strategies.
Oke, to summarize all the presentation that has been mentioned, aku summarize dengan berbentuk tabel. Jadi untuk methods and implementation dari Unilever itu, Unilever states that all transactions are conducted at arm's length, but does not detail that specific transfer pricing method used in its annual report. Sementara Danone explicitly mentions the use of several OECD recognition methods such as comparable uncontrolled price, TNMM, and resale price method. Untuk dokumen transparansi, the annual report Unilever is transparent in disclosing the types of transactions with related parties. However, it does not explicitly mention the preparation of documentation in accordance with BEPS standards. In Danone, clearly comply with BEPS 13 action documentation standards by compiling master files, local files, and country-by-country reports. In conclusion, Unilever's report only lists the types of transaction without providing clarity on the pricing methodology. Sementara Danone is considered to provide a clearer explanation of how these transactions are structured, valued, and monitored according to arm's length standards.
So to conclude our presentation today, this study compares the transfer pricing practices of Danone SA and PT Unilever Indonesia Tbk in relation to OECD standards and the BEPS action plan. While both apply the arm's length principle, Danone takes a more transparent and globally aligned approach by specifying its method, like CUP, TNMM, and resale price, complying with BEPS documentation and aligning with the OECD two pillars framework. On the other hand, Unilever Indonesia shows limited disclosure and lacks the evidence of strategic alignment, reflecting a more basic compliance focused stance. This comparison highlights the need for M&E to move beyond minimal compliance and adopt responsible, transparent tax practices that align with global expectation.
Okay, and that is our explanation from the our project-based learning. And thank you for listening and watching our video, and have a great day. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.